Hi, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to Real News Talk Show. I'm talking to you today about Judge Tammy Kemp. Judge Kemp came out and she said the reason that she actually went and gave Amber Guyger a hug was because of the fact that Amber Guyger didn't know how to start asking God for forgiveness. That could be true too. But many people that do wrong, or many people that don't have God in their hearts, many of them don't know. Many of those people that come through court that are convicts, murderers, serial killers, rapists, you name it, bank robbers, or child molesters, oftentimes they don't even know how to start asking God for forgiveness. So that's the part about it, and she was wondering why people were so angry about it, and that is why, because Amber Guyger is not the first person that does not know or would not know how to ask God to forgive them, but nobody ever gave them what she received from the judge and from Botham John's brother and all of the other people that pampered her, even the bailiff. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the bailiff. But first of all, I'm going to stop right now and say thank you for tuning in once again. And please click that like, share, and subscribe button so I can come back with some more good real news talk. If you notice in most of my videos, I wear glasses because I love glasses. And I don't mind showing my eyes, but I have an array of glasses. And see, I'm showing you my eyes. But I love sunglasses. And so you can always look out for some on my video. These were custom made by my niece. She custom made glasses, and so she put rhinestones around them. And so I think I had another pair that had like buttons and rhinestones. So if you notice, every time you look at a video, you may say, oh wow, she always has on some glasses. And most of them are outstanding because a lot of them are custom made, or if I perhaps just travel and see some, I just pick up what I like. And if I don't like them, then I can give them to my niece and have her custom make them for me. So actually, my great niece. Actually, it's my great niece that does that. She's very creative, and so she does it for the family. And we all have a lot of bad. When I say bad glasses, I mean like these, way out. But back to that bailiff with the Amber Guyger story. Don't forget to click that like, share, and subscribe button. But back to that bailiff with that Amber Guyger story. The bailiff was stroking in her hair like this, and you know why? And I was watching her hair, and it looked like it was a weave. I'm not sure, but as I was looking at it, it kind of looked like it was a weave. And so I was wondering if indeed it was a weave, because I noticed in the back of Amber Guyger's hair there was like a brown streak. If you really go back and look at some pictures, it looked like whoever did the weave didn't quite do it right, because it was a big brown line, a big brown patch going down the back of her head, which tend to make me think it was a weave, because on her mug shot her hair was just flat. It was flat and it was pulled back. It was darker, and it seemed like she had that hair sewn in her head or something. It just didn't look right. The hair wasn't right, and it kind of looked a little brassy, like it wasn't straight like her hair was in the mugshot. So I really think something must have been sticking out on her head or something, because I still can't understand why that bailiff would go up there and rub on her hair unless her hair annoyed her because of the weave that wasn't properly sewn in or whatever. Allegedly, it could have been a weave. And still, I wouldn't have touched her. I mean, I don't want to touch nobody that murdered nobody. My thoughts are my thoughts, but if I know somebody killed somebody, that would be hard for me to even touch them. Really, it would. That's just my personal opinion. Really, it is. Just to know somebody that murdered someone in the way it happened, and to go up and touch them, I wouldn't want to put my hands on them. I wouldn't want that stuff rubbing off on me, really. I don't even want to associate with people if they're not on a, a smooth level. Everybody have done some wrong, and of course they do have to pay for their crime. But if I know, murder to me is the worst thing in the world you can do to someone, take them off the planet, right here that God created and He created them. That I just still can't swallow that, because He didn't ask to die when He was sitting in His house, eating His ice cream on His couch. He did not ask for that. Whether it was her mistake or not, which I doubt it, because of that red rug standing out like a sore thumb. So I still doubt that too. But back to the judge, she said that that was her reasons. She still stands strong on her reasons, and she said if people believe in God, then that would be something that they should probably do if that person needed. And now Amber Guyger, they said she asked, could she get the hug from the judge? I didn't know that she had asked her could she get the hug. I thought the judge had automatically went and hugged her, because they said online that she had hesitated. The judge had hesitated, which means she kind of didn't want to do it, and I think she should have followed her first mind. You know how your first mind tell you something, and then you go ahead against that? Sometimes that first mind be God. The second mind be the devil. That devil, he was God's right-hand man. He could stand right next to God and make you think it's him. And that's what I was saying about the brother. He really has God in his heart. And sometimes you can really, really have God so strong until the devil will sneak in some kind of way and make you think that it's God, in fact, when it's him. You see what I'm saying? Because the reason I'm saying that, because if it was right, then so many people wouldn't be complaining about it. The majority of people. You see what I'm saying? The majority feels like, why did he do that? And that was his brother that she murdered. He could have prayed and asked God to forgive her, instead of just going up there and just hugging on her like she was a piece of candy, cotton candy at that. That was just a bit much, really, for anybody. And like the judge was saying, it shouldn't have to do with race when it comes to, religion, which is true. It shouldn't have anything to do with race. However, when someone kills somebody, or if somebody come through court, just like it shouldn't have to be with race, it shouldn't have to be with one murderer. It should be, if one murderer get loving attention in court, then I think all of the murderers should get the same thing. I really do. I feel like you do for one murderer, you do for all of them. Whether it was an accident or not, it's still they killed somebody. So people have to, it was all about Amber Guyger. That's basically what it all boils down to. And also the judge was saying she have a life to live, and she hopes she can live it purposely. So do all the other criminals. So do a lot of young criminals like Amber Guyger that go to jail that didn't murder anyone, and they got 25 to life. They still have a long life to live too. She's not the only younger person that's in jail. She's not. But the other people have a life to live just like Amber Guyger, but nobody told them what Amber Guyger was told. So basically, that is why people are upset. So the judge was saying she don't understand why people are upset, but that is why, because no one else is being treated like her. It's not about race, it's about the treatment. It's about the treatment of Amber Guyger. Everything they were saying, from the juror, the black juror that was on TV, from the juror all the way down, it was all about Amber Guyger. It was more, they were more wrapped up in her feelings, opposed to wrapped up in the system, the court of law. It was, and like she was saying, it wasn't on, the judge said that she had stepped down after the sentence. But I understand what she's saying, she stepped down after the sentence, but still the girl was convicted, and she was convicted of murder. So whether it was after the sentence, before the sentence, before she killed him, if she was attempting to kill him or whatever, she was still a criminal. And so I would not have linked myself Me personally being a judge, I wouldn't have linked myself with that in no kind of way. I would have stayed back as far as I could so that all this stuff that's coming out now, she wouldn't have to hear it or deal with it. And, like I said, she could have God, but all the other people come through there, they want the same treatment. That's the thing. You open up one can of worms, everybody else gonna want it too if they're criminals, because it actually made Amber Guyger feel like she didn't do anything. You can't give a person a sentence and then you come back and take it back because everybody loved on her. She got a hair stroke. She got a hug from the judge. She got a hug from the boy, and that was his brother. I mean, so the other criminal's gonna feel it's just a flat out honest feeling. They're gonna say, look at her. She killed somebody. And they're going to say, just because she's a cop, they gave her special treatment. Because the other people that's got 99 to life, the people that's got 99 to life, they weren't cops. They weren't cops. So, there's some cops in Houston that did the same thing. They shot into a house illegal. So I wonder how many years they're going to get. And the cop was black that set the killing up. And I think he should get, the same time or maybe 20 because he killed 2 people. If that's going to be the case. If she gets 10 and he killed 2 people by shooting in the house just like she did, then that means that would be 2 people. So that should be 20. But I doubt it. I think he'll probably get 50 to life. And he's black and a cop. But it's a man, a black man, and he's a cop. So let's see what he gets. And it was other people on the force too. It was all different nationalities that shot into that house, but I think he's the one that set it up. So his trial is going to be coming up, and people are going to be wondering, let's see what they're going to give him. But the thing of it is, the judge said she felt sorry. Everybody was feeling sorry for her, for the girl. And like I say, there are many people that need God and need love, and they didn't get it. So they're going to feel rained on. Like, they just didn't give a damn about me. And I didn't even really kill nobody. So yeah, I heard the judge. The brother who asked to hug her twice, his family is now seeking a settlement from the Dallas Police Department. You see what I'm saying? It's conflicting stuff. The brother went up there and saying he didn't want her to go to prison, but now they want money. So what was that all about? I mean, if you don't want her to go to prison and you didn't think she did anything wrong and God's going to forgive her, let the money go. Leave the Dallas Police Department alone because you said you did not want her to go to prison. And I was watching someone else's video on YouTube, and the man said, they don't deserve a damn dime. He said, because now you turned it up here. You're flipping and tipping and dipping, and now which way you want to go? Did you want her to go to prison, or did you want the money, or what did you want? You said you didn't want her to go. If you don't want her to go and do no time, and you feel that sorry for Amber Guyger, and she was a police department, worked at the Dallas Police Department, leave it alone. Leave it alone. So I read that the mother said, well, let's not get it mixed up here. Let's not get it mixed up from what her son said to what they want. And again, I said that son, when he said what he said, he may regret it deep down inside. Nobody knows, because of the fact he said he thought the cameras were not rolling. Which means what? If he knew that they were rolling, he possibly would not have said what he said. Let me, please, he begged to hug the murderer of his brother. That's past nice. That's really past nice. It goes into another dimension. That's past nice. It's something in the mind. It's past being nice. Anytime somebody murder your brother, any one of you out there, somebody murder your brother, could you do it? Could you do it? Oftentimes, I have a friend, and her son was murdered, and I asked her, could she do it to the murderer? I don't think so. She said it actually took her like five to 10 years to forgive him, but to forgive him and to get over it. She says, but right after somebody killed your brother, your mind should be so distraught about your brother not being here on this earth anymore until you shouldn't even think about hugging somebody and kissing on them after they have murdered your brother within that short time, a year's time or whatever, from that time to the trial. So it's just a mess. But everybody's saying, well, why are they trying to sue the Dallas Police Department? Everybody was on the wrong that they did, and now everybody is for the Dallas Police Department because of the fact that if they're gonna not care about her killing the boy, Botham John, if they're not gonna care about her killing him and telling her, you didn't do any wrong, and I think the judge had said, that wasn't the family that said that was the judge had said, you haven't done as much as you think you have, and you can be forgiven. She told her that. You did something bad in a moment, but Amber Guyger did a lot of bad. She had a lot that she has to repent for with God, not just the murder of Botham John. It's more than just that one thing that girl did. So the judge was feeling in the moment. They were feeling in the moment of Amber Guyger. It was more about Amber Guyger. But Amber Guyger has to go, what everybody don't know. People have to go to God for themselves if they want forgiveness. So nobody shouldn't have done anything but pray behind the scenes for her. And you just tell her what she has to do and let her go on about her way. But so far as hugging her, stroking her, rubbing her, and so far as the Bible, she could get her own Bible because she's probably not going to read it anyway because of the hug. She asked for a hug, but the way she gave that hug, it didn't look like she was wholeheartedly ready. Amber Guyger, I think, was atheist. I don't think because I read that she said she didn't have no Bible. She didn't have no Bible. And anyone would be remorseful. Anyone would do just what Amber Guyger did if their ass was on the line for murder. Anyone. So what would make her so different than the rest of the criminals that come through there that didn't murder someone and they got 25 to life? That's all. So that's what people were concerned about. Not so much as a race. They were just concerned and upset that their own race couldn't see that other people, not just black people that go through court. I've talked to Caucasian people too that go through court and they say even though they were white, their friends didn't get that kind of treatment. They didn't get it. No, it's definitely like when Judge Kemp says it's not about race, she's correct. It's not about race. Because even other races didn't get the treatment that Amber Guyger got. Excuse me. So it was just wrong, period, of what they did. They said in their hearts and in their minds, that's what they felt they had to do. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that little boy, excuse me. I think that little boy, because in his mind he heard someone say do it. So when he said that, then that's what opened up the doors for everyone else to start giving her that attention because they felt sorry for her. Like that black juror, I couldn't give her, I couldn't do it, I couldn't give her no 29 years. And then they all cried when the judge said it would be 5 to 29. Why would they cry? They didn't kill the boy. She did. Why would they break down and cry when the order was 5 to 29 years for murder? Why would they cry for Amber Guyger and she killed that boy? Why? They said, oh, we cried when we heard that 5 to 29. We cried and cried. Well, those people that cried shouldn't have been on the jury if they're going to cry for convicting a murderer. Someone that they said the verdict was murder. They said it was murder. The jury gave the verdict as murder. And now you're going to turn around and cry when it comes to sentencing? It was just something wrong all the way around with that story. You're going to convict somebody of murder and now you can't do it? You can't give them the time that they deserve? Wow. That's really something. So so the police department said they were going to do an internal investigation because of the fact that those life-saving measures. Why didn't that juror and everyone else think about she didn't do CPR on him? She ran outside. When they were thinking about doing that sentencing, that's what they should have thought about, all the stuff she did. When she didn't, when she failed the polygraph at the police department, she this, she that, she that. So it seems like it was favoritism. It really does. It seems like it because a lot of people listening to my video right now have family members that they know that they did not get that kind of treatment and they didn't murder anybody. This is real news talk show. I'm just being flat out and honest with you. Everybody are entitled to their own opinions, even that judge, because in her mind, that's the way she felt. Just like in the minds of many other judges, which is why a lot of people are in prison that are not guilty. Because in their minds, the way they thought that the person was guilty. And the jurors in their minds, they thought that the people were guilty. Just like in these jurors' mind, the person that was guilty, that they already gave the verdict of murder. You see what I'm saying? They already gave her, when they said they came back with murder, and then they couldn't even give her the time for the murder that she committed because they're saying they did not believe. They believed it was, she didn't know that that was her apartment. Well, if you felt like that, why would they do a murder verdict? Tell me. If you felt like Amber Guyger made a mistake, why did you give her that verdict of murder? It just doesn't add up to me. You gave her the verdict of murder, and then you're going to turn around and now say it was a mistake. I don't buy it. I really don't. But it is what it is. And so it's going to be more coming out about this story. And I'm not racist or anything like that. I have friends of all nationalities, all walks of life. I'm just doing a real news talk show regarding what most people that I've talked to felt in all nationalities. They were wrapped up. Everything was about Amber. And I want her to live a full, prosperous life. What about the other people that did murder somebody living a full, prosperous life? That's the same age with Amber or younger. You see, everything that they were saying didn't sound logical. We cried when we got that 5 to 29 year, when they told us that's what we should do. Boy, we just cried, we cried. And then the black girl said, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't give it to her. I just couldn't do it. See, they picked the wrong people on that jury. They did. Because of the fact that they couldn't do it when they know that they should have. Basically, the way she was saying it was like, I should have, but I just couldn't. She didn't say I wasn't going to do it because the girl wasn't guilty. She couldn't say that because they already convicted her of murder. You see what I'm saying? So they came back, they weakened down. First it was murder, and then they weakened on down to 10 years. We'll just say 5 because she'll be out in 5. And just like Amber Guyger, needs to be forgiven for what she did. Everyone else does too. That's all I'm saying. I'm not coming down on the judge. I'm not coming down on his brother. But when you really think about it, that was what they thought in their minds. But in reality, and you sit back and you think about it, what would you want for your brother after someone's convicted them of murder? After all the evidence was there, all the witnesses was there that made mistakes, and they noticed that it wasn't their door, from the numbers to the red mat to, I mean, you had everything was laid out. And that was why you convicted her of murder. But you just couldn't do it. That's what the girl said on TV. And they cried for Amber. They should have been crying for both of them. That's all I'm saying. When Amber was getting all that, both of them was, I said, Lord, I hope both of them don't come back and hunt people. Because when you do somebody like that, even that little brother, he didn't know what he was doing. He did it in the moment because of the fact of him being young and not realizing. And the reason I'm saying that, because he said he thought the cameras were off. See, if he wouldn't have said that and I wouldn't have heard that, I wouldn't have thought that possibly he wouldn't have done it if the cameras were, if he knew that they were on. Because he said, I thought the camera, he kept saying that, I thought the cameras were off because the trial was over and everything. So I thought it, the cameras were off. And I said to myself, well, if you thought they were on, if you knew they were on, would you have said it? And I think the answer would be no. I really do. So he was trying to do that on the under, but the cameras caught him when he said, I thought the cameras were off. And then now they want money from the Dallas Police Department. You see what I'm saying? That's something else. The police officer didn't get justice. So now they just flipping and flamming. Because someone else told me, they say, why didn't he say that before? Like on the trial, like early on, why didn't he say, I don't want you to go to jail? Because if he said that, that probably would have helped Amber Guyger, and then they possibly wouldn't have got filed, any lawsuit against the police department. So he waited until afterwards to say, I don't want you to go to jail. Well, he know damn well she was going because she had already got the 10-year sentence. But you didn't say that before to help her not go. So it's like contradict everybody. Everything is like, this stuff is crazy. It is so crazy, you guys. It just doesn't make any sense, the whole thing. And especially that bailiff walking up there stroking on that girl's hair. The only thing I can make out of it is because her weave was not sewn in correctly, because like I said, in the back you could see a streak, and it wasn't slick. It was kind of like, brassy. It didn't look, whoever did it really didn't do a good job on her weave. And so it was her hair. Her hair probably was sticking out in some area, but I still wouldn't have touched no murderer. Not me. Not me. I couldn't do it because of the fact that they actually killed somebody. And the juror said, Amber Guyger, when she get out, she's not going to have a life. And the other police officers that shot black guys, when they get out, they're going to have a life. What did she mean? She didn't know what the hell she was saying. She said the police officers that shot the black men unarmed. She said it's two different cases. Well, we know that. And when they get out, they're going to have a life. What makes her think that their life going to be different than Amber Guyger's? And they did the same thing. What makes her think that they're going to have a life and Amber Guyger's not when she get out? She's going to have a more better life than those guys, than the other police officers that shot unarmed black men. She's going to have a better life because they probably got more time than she did. You see what I'm saying? I don't give a damn what color they were. Wrong is wrong. I wouldn't care if they white, blue, black, yellow, green, orange, whatever. Wrong is wrong. And, I have God, and I'm not for nobody, being locked up, incarcerated. I feel for Bill Cosby. He didn't even kill nobody. And he got 3 to 10. R. Kelly, people been paid off and everything. And he's going to get life. And he didn't even kill nobody. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Right is right and wrong is wrong. So give people the time that they deserve for the crime that they committed. And keep your feelings out of the way. Everybody crying, everybody saying she was remorseful, everybody this, oh, was she this, and oh, was she that, oh, well, when she broke down and said this, and I felt. That means you were in the feelings of a murder, the person that was convicted of murder in the court of law, regardless. When it all boils down, she's no different than the next murderer, the next rapist, the next criminal. She's no different. And that's all everybody was saying. Wasn't nobody really trying to bash nobody. That was just what the majority said, which is what leads me to believe that it's true. If the majority say that, all colors, not because she's a cop that people hate her, because she's a human being like everyone else, but because the man that's dead, that could have still been alive, she shot him in his own house. So I feel that Amber Guyger should have at least got 20, 25. And she could have been out at 10, and she still would have been able to live her life. So that black juror really didn't know what she was talking about. She still would have been 39, 40. She would have been able to enjoy her life, because the police officers that she was talking about that perhaps shot other unarmed black men that she was saying on TV, they're gonna have a life, and Amber Guyger won't. It didn't make any sense. Somebody said she spoke before she thought on that one, because those men not gonna have a happy life, because nobody's gonna want to harm. It's gonna be the same. Amber Guyger will get, I bet you, better chance out here in the real world when she gets out than them, because they're men. Men have it hard. They'll have it harder than her, because you can see from the courtroom how she had it easy. So what made that juror think that Amber Guyger, it would be hard for her? So they was thinking about how hard it would be for her in that sentencing. They cried when they knew that they had to give her time. Everything, and that police chief, she's going to do more internal investigations on the life-saving measures and all of the things that was said on the stand. Everything that was said, because a lot of stuff was said, how Amber Guyger was racist and all this stuff, and all those text messages, everything was laid right out to the black juror and everyone else. And like I was looking at on a talk show, and it was like a white guy and a black guy debating about the situation, and actually it was Cornell X, the civil rights activist, and on a TV show, and he was saying, he was telling the guy, he said, it was like they were talking about the case, and he was saying if that would have been, a black person, nobody would have done it. And he said, black people will stick up for somebody else before their own. And the man said, well, look, it was a majority of the black people on the panel. Oh my God, it was a majority of black jurors but everybody got wrapped up in the moment, because see, it doesn't matter what color you are, because the jurors could have possibly been women, and they could have been feeling like that one black juror on the TV show, just because Amber was a woman, not so much as her being white, not so much as her being a police officer. She was a woman. And like that girl said, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. When you see a woman, somehow people tend to feel more sorry for them, and the men always get the kick in the butt. They get it a lot harder. They do. They really do. So I think, that's what happened with the Amber Guyger trial, is that everybody got wrapped up in the moment with her after the case was over. But when the sentencing was going on, the jury got wrapped up in crying because they didn't want to give her the time, because they said that she was remorseful and she wouldn't have a life after then, and they forgot about all the other criminals too. They didn't put in consideration, well, she was convicted. We convicted her of murder. So other people were convicted, and we can't put our feelings in this. We have to go with our gut feeling. We cannot put sympathy in this sentencing. But they did, because they said they did. They were all sympathetic with her, and that's why people were upset online. That's what it was. So anyway, you guys, please click like, share, and subscribe, and so I can come back with more real news talk. I really, really appreciate it. This is just what I read online, what I hear, and some of it is what I really know, because I know for myself by living in this world that we're in right now, and how things have been, how they are now, and hopefully they'll be better. But my grandmother always said, she said, you keep living, it's not going to get no better. And I hope to prove her wrong. But normally when old people, and she was 97 years old, when they tell you something, they pretty much know. They've seen it all. They know it all. Yeah, they tell you everything before they leave here to try to prepare the next generation for what's really, really going on. And so it's not a black or white thing, it's a real thing. And that's why I named my show The Real News Talk Show. Please click like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be coming back with some more commentary regarding other topics, and hopefully we can move along from this one, because it was something else. The murder of Botham John while he was sitting down eating ice cream in his own home, and they could not give the proper sentencing for the murder conviction that they had given. And that's all I was saying. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.